What's up, YouTube family? Pete here with Green Dreams. I want to thank you guys for subscribing to my channel, liking my videos, and commenting. So I also want to let you know I've been getting some feedback about the audio, and I just recently listened to one of my own videos. It's not something I do very often. I have a hard time watching myself in my truck, and I had that coming through the speakers, and I realized the audio kind of stinks. So we're getting ready to step up our game. We're going to get a real camera, a real mic, something probably along the lines of what Justin has. So we're going to get you better audio, better video. It's going to, we're bringing this up a notch for you guys. We're going to try to make it better. So today I want to start by thanking our friends Nikki and Ryan. They live up in Bradford, Florida. They're in the process of establishing a farm of their own. We were up there visiting about 2 months ago, and they had these greenhouses behind me on their farm. And they just moved from Palm Harbor to North Florida. So they went about 3 hours north. Definitely a drastic temperature change, and a lot of the plants they had in their nursery were more cold sensitive. So he had a lot of stuff that he's not giving up on, and he wants to grow up in North Florida. So he had purchased these greenhouses to kind of protect that stuff. When I went up and saw him, I was like, oh, those aren't too bad. He told me how much he paid for them. And that's what kind of blew my mind. So we're sitting behind a 10 by 20 greenhouse that's $179 to your door. So if you're looking for a quick protection through the winter, something to push that subtropical species, something to push your germination stage on seedlings and propagation, we found this to be unbelievable. For us, the biggest thing is protection from the rain, and I'll show you one of the trays that I had left out. We haven't really had any rain here in a few months. Just kind of got caught with my pants down per se, not prepared, and a couple of our trays got washed out a little bit. So we just recently put irrigation in there. I'm also going to show you all what we were using to water before I put this irrigation in. So we found some really great value in these greenhouses. They're UV protected. We have a link at the bottom of this video here, kind of linking to this on Amazon through our Amazon store. I'll also link the watering nozzle for starting off the seedlings that we use. We even have the trays on our Amazon store. So I have 2 greenhouses here, under $400 to my door. And we're talking about 400 square feet of greenhouse protection. So, these things don't look too bad. What I have done inside the greenhouse is the same thing you see along the outside of the greenhouse. I've purchased these plastic pallets. I like the plastic ones because they do last a little longer. They don't rot. This is something that we're constantly watering. I know it might not be too permaculture savvy for the purist per se. I'm not quite a purist of some things. I don't mind using a little plastic if it's going to give me 10 years compared to 6 months. It's time and value there. So what I've done is I've used cinder blocks and leveled them out here as best as we could with the site. And we use black, landscape fabric to kind of keep the weeds down in this area. This stuff lasts almost 10 years for me. It's another thing. It's plastic, but it's holding up in our, our really intense Florida sun down here. It's, it's stopping me from having to weed this area. So this is what we've done inside the greenhouse to make the shelves for you. This is also helping to hold down that greenhouse in a high wind, situation. We've already had some 40-mile-an-hour gusts here. My friend in North Florida actually lost his 2 greenhouses. They weren't quite as bunkered down, or he had some more severe weather than we had. So these things went up in literally about 10 minutes for us. They have these really nice roll-up windows on the sides, roll-up door on the front, and inside of it, this allows us to start 5,000-10,000 seedlings. We've got tons of trays inside here, and here is what happens when we're not really using this per se for the greenhouse factor. We're using this to protect from the rain washing our seedlings out. So, this gives me an area where I can protect my seedlings from that heavy downpour here in Florida. And also now I just set up some mister heads in here. And you can see we have 6 of them going down each side. I have them coming on for 1 minute every 2 hours. I put some flush outs here on the end of the lines. And that's something I'll make a video to break down the whole irrigation process, how to put in an irrigation system, how to retrofit an irrigation system when we do micro irrigation in a food forest. So I'm going to bring you guys some irrigation videos here soon also. But you can see we have these nice rows going down each side over here. And we've got 2 of them set up. So prior to putting in this irrigation, this only happened a few weeks ago. If you're home and you're around your farm all day long, fine. You probably don't need the irrigation. You're out there, your eyes are on this stuff. But this is a full-time job, and it takes probably 10 minutes to water it with this properly multiple times per day. I value my time very much. So this is that nozzle I was talking about. I would suggest that black hose. As you can see, this gray one, it's been fixed 10 times. The black ones I don't have to fix as much. This has that dram shut off on it. Then it has that mister nozzle. It's not going to damage the plants when I'm watering them. So I'll turn that on full speed, and I'll go down these trays like this, and I'll go up and down real slow And that's enough to keep it wet. You know, like I said, this worked great before we had the irrigation system in here. It got to be a little bit much. It got very hot. You know, we're going into summer here in Florida. Luckily, we're in May and we're starting to get those rains. But, you know, before I had the irrigation, I would say this was key for watering here in the greenhouse. We do spray a little kelp in here, some micronutrients, probably once a week to keep some, you know, life to these seedlings, cuttings, propagation material that we have in this space. But these are, I mean, bang for the buck. Just wanted to share this with y'all. Like I said, we have a small Amazon link or an affiliate here on the bottom of the page, and we make a couple bucks off of y'all purchasing this for us. But more importantly, I just wanted to show you the bargain, the bang for the buck. I mean, I couldn't believe 180 bucks to your door for this thing. I mean, that's great. You know, I wanted to build a bigger greenhouse. It was going to cost me like 8 or 10 grand. These are getting me through before I have the money to build a bigger, nicer greenhouse, something more long term. They actually don't look too bad either. So, bang for the buck greenhouse.